So here's a very advanced technique actually, that is no technique. And you can try it, I would say, once a week. You set your timer to 45 minutes to 1 hour, and you actually just sit and do nothing. You can sit on your couch, you can sit in a chair, just so that you do not fall asleep, but there's nothing for you to do. The only thing, or the only requirement here that you should follow during that time is to actually do nothing, to not engage actively in any fantasizing, in following any thought. So what you do is really, you are just yourself. Before you put any label on it, before you put any concept on it, before you do anything. And this is actually a very advanced technique, because all meditation techniques where you follow the breath or you follow a mantra are just there to calm the mind, to give you something to focus on until you can actually discover who you are. So just doing nothing when you haven't discovered yet what you are can be quite challenging, because within the first 5 minutes I can guarantee you, you will have a thought that comes into your mind with such a power that you might in that moment forget your goal, that you might forget that you just wanted to sit here without engaging in any thought. That thought might tell you, oh, you really have to answer now so and so, you forgot to write an email to such and such, or there is something else that needs to be done because you have forgotten it. And what you want to do in that moment, when that thought comes for you that tells you it really needs to be done right now, is to just stay in that awareness, in that watchfulness, and actually learn to resist the urge to act on the energy that comes with that thought. And that is the difficult part, because many times you get sucked into it. You forget your awareness, your watchfulness, and you just dream, and you actually engage with the thought, which is not what you wanted to do. You wanted to do nothing. Just for 45 minutes to 1 hour, really do nothing. And on a level of the thoughts, that means not engaging in them, but also not denying them. You have to be indifferent to them. And when they come, the ones with real force, when they come into your mind with this feeling of urgency, and they propel you to act on them, or to think further about them, then the only thing you do is step back and allow the space for that thought and the energy it comes with to flow through that open awareness, through that space that you hold for that experience. And that is the practice here. So just allow yourself once a week to be in solitude with yourself, undistracted, without needing any technique. And watch. Be mindful of what happens, what unfolds. And you will discover many interesting things about your true self, about how it is that you are constantly distracting yourself with this or that behavior from that. the idea here is to catch the mind when it creates stories and concepts as early as you can. When you watch, when you sit there, when you get that first impulse that pulls you away from pure empty awareness, to catch it at that moment. So actually, this technique sounds very simple. It is simple. You actually really only do nothing, but it is not easy. And it doesn't mean that you fail, not at all, when you get pulled into stories. Over time, months, years, you will discover that it happens less and less, and that you catch it very early on, or even you catch it earlier than before. But every time that happens, and you emerge out of that into open awareness, look at it with interest. That was curious. How did that get me sucked into that story? How did I lose my mindfulness? And you try to observe and learn so that next time you catch that impulse, you can distinguish it from the most subtle essence of yourself, and you discover that over time you get deeper and deeper, or closer and closer to that most peaceful state. And when you are advanced, you actually drop all techniques. You don't need them anymore. And meditation becomes what I just described, just being. And you discover that actually everything is a distraction from that, from your truest self. That is inherently completely silent, still, and peaceful. Yet everything that is emerges out of that. And that is what you can discover with that technique. So I recommend you do that at least once a week in your regular meditation schedule. You say, okay, for this one session, I don't have to sit in my regular posture. I just am and do nothing. I mean, you can sit in your meditation posture if that's fine. I do that as well, but just try to observe with your eyes open and see how you watch, where you look, how you're. Just observe, just be, and observe everything without getting pulled into a story. That's the technique. Try it out, and hope this was helpful. If you're interested, there will be another online retreat on the first weekend of December. The link is in the description if you want to sign up. And with that, thank you for watching, and maybe see you there. Goodbye.